Ah.
Oh god, I forgot. We were in the middle of the ant nightmare.
We were talking about ant movies while fighting ants, and getting attacked by a wall.
Gooey ducks.
Are we rolling? Let's see, we have this, yeah, we're rolling.
Hey, everybody, we're getting the fuck out of Shivering Isles.
We had a little meeting, a little cast meeting, and we decided, fuck Oblivion. We're tired of it.
I wasn't there, but I astrally projected into it because basically, like, they had the meeting in my absence without consulting me that I was basically praying they would have in my absence without consulting me.
I just got a vibe from Ruskarn, really. He was... What's that thing in Star Trek where they have, like, mind powers? What's that called, Josh?
Telepathy?
No, it's like there are people
Telekinesis.
in Star Trek. In the future, humans have, like, developed the ability to do, like, mind stuff.
Oh,
Mind
like
meld?
the Sigma males.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what Rutskarn knows.
Are we talking about the original series version of this, or
no?
like
There's
the
a
one
word
where
for it.
everybody's
It starts with
eyes
an E.
turn?
No, and it was like really popular in the '60s too. That's why they put it in. No, it's like
Esper?
Esper?
Esper!
ISP?
That was a total fucking guess. I've never seen an episode of Star Trek with this in my life.
In the '60s, like, people were obsessed. They're like, what if we could do ESP? Like, what if that's the next thing for the military?
The only thing I associate with that term is like I had to figure out what that term meant from context by seeing it in Japanese media.
Oh my god.
It's funny, like, the original series treats it as if it's like a legitimate like avenue of
because in the '60s
biological
they were
research
literally spending
and
like
because they were actually
military
doing that.
money on it.
Yeah, but it was also like you know, like within 10 years of that episode airing, like everybody knew that it was bullshit. That there was nothing, like, no, humans do not actually have telekinetic powers or whatever. You can't just load someone up on a bunch of LSD and have them be good and start moving shit around the room.
As long as we're deep down a tangent. Yes.
My point is that Rutskarn has whatever that is. He's been taking lots of LSD and he mind connected to me and said, "Get me the fuck out of Oblivion." So that's what we're doing.
Yep, we'll get the fuck out of here.
It's at least a little ironic that we had that meeting during this particular quest, because if I remember right, we can't leave yet until we complete this quest, because we are currently addicted to Feldu.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I completely fucking forgot about that.
This is basically the quest where you have to go and okay, I have to go there, but how do I get there?
Yep.
Oh my god.
This seems like, since we just announced that we're planning to wind down this season, I think it's a good time to revisit a point I made at the very beginning of this series, which is, at the beginning I said, Oblivion is for the people. And you might be wondering if I was going anywhere with that. No.
We all assumed you were
Okay.
not.
Yeah, back to the
Like
game.
the people's champ?
Awesome.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, sure. Okay, yeah,
like
there.
The
We just figured
Rock?
it out. We're good.
I never failed
like
to
The Rock,
lose faith
exactly.
in you,
Yeah.
Rutskarn.
It's like The Rock.
It's great to hear.
But because think about The Rock. When The Rock first started doing movies, everyone's like, The Rock's gonna be a big deal. Wow. And now everyone's sick of the fucking Rock.
Right, and he was a huge deal. He made a shitload of money, and now everybody just hates his fucking guts. Because it's just the same thing over and over again.
I would frame this as a, are you aware of this? But I'm sure you are, so I'm instead going to ask, have you seen the episode of Voyager that has The Rock in it?
No, on purpose.
I've seen the clip from Voyager that has The Rock in it.
What's that?
Okay, alright.
Why did I just do that?
This game got jokes, huh?
What does it feel like to be on Feldu? Like, what is the best part about Feldu?
Well, sometimes you do a backflip for no apparent reason.
Whoa, you become Spider-Man? That explains everything.
I would not call myself Spider-Man, although
I
it
can't
would kind of
stand
fit the theme.
Personally, I don't
more
really
average.
care for Feldu, but I do enjoy Feldu Baja Blast.
What is all this loot all of a sudden?
Oh, yeah.
Why is
Feldu
Oblivion
Zero.
giving me decent loot suddenly?
I was trying to keep you in.
I saw this guy
Heard
put
that I was
Feldu
going
on
to
like
leave.
ribs. It was not. Don't do that.
What did it taste like?
That's like
Ah,
that's
here
the
we
most inside joke. That's only for people who watch the show and also follow my Twitter religiously. Like, read every single one of my tweets.
I actually don't. I would have to guess that that's like for the people who like make barbecue sauces with soda in it, to, like put on ribs and shit.
Well, so like I found this guy on.
Feldu and cheap
Everyone
wine,
was
all
mad
right.
at this guy for spraying Mountain Dew on his ribs. And then I looked at it and it was pineapple Mountain Dew. And so then I tweeted, "This is not a big deal. You can put pineapple juice in wet rubs for ribs or make it into a barbecue sauce." And then it became a whole thing. And then all of his fans told me that like he's been doing this with all the Mountain Dews.
whoop.
So...
Yes.
I didn't know.
Anyway.
I didn't know this engine could make asymmetrical faces. Like, sincerely.
Man, the game was saving all of its treasures for like this final sprint. Like that is. That's.
Oh, you
that's
don't like
solid gold,
Oblivion?
right?
Here's this lady's
Oh.
face.
Yep.
Oh, now she's
Just
decided to
take a look
attack.
at it.
Dawnfang has
Doofengus is-
extinguished 8 lives. Well, these guys apparently had cheap wine, beer, and Feldu here, and a whole bunch of like very nice beds.
Anyway, this brings me to a question for the audience engagement question for the week, which is, what potion from fantasy video gaming would you want to add to your barbecue sauce for, let's say, a rack of beef ribs? Or equivalent if you're a vegetarian.
I love this question.
Potion
Mana
of polymorph.
is my gut response. Polymorph?
No, come on. That's so boring, man.
That's
Really?
gonna
Wait,
be a trick.
would that polymorph you, or would it polymorph the ribs?
If you
It polymorph
marinate
you.
it, it's going to polymorph the ribs. If you just eat it, if you just like add it straight to the sauce that you apply after it's cooked, it's going to
I don't know,
polymorph you.
guys. My barbecue turned into a giant snake and crawled off.
What's that noise in the kitchen? Rah!
Alright, so can we just go
I'm
now?
looking at
What's up with
potions.
Hit
this?
the bricks.
My instant instinct was mana would be the tastiest. I feel like mana
Okay,
is
he is
citric.
fighting.
Then again, there was
Where'd he
that
go?
company that made mana potions, and apparently they tasted like absolute
Wow, that guy
gastric
was-
death.
Well, Dragon Age has Antivan Fire, which is just basically a fire grenade, but I put liquid smoke in my marinade. So it's kind of the
Hey,
same thing.
there you go.
Game does not want me to loot the Priest of Order. Okay, let's pop back to the palace and give this thing to this guy, and then we'll just leave. Or honestly, we could just leave immediately. I don't think we're still...
Like, does the Feldu addiction real? Does it real? I mean, I guess it does in the sense that you fall unconscious every so often.
I don't think we're still addicted, because once we got the palace, or the chalice, once we got the Palace of Reversal, let's see, shrouded stuff.
Yeah, the chalice of
Yeah, no, I
reversal
don't-
gets rid
I
of the
don't-
addiction.
All right, yeah, no, fuck it. We're not
Let's
going to give this guy
hit
the
the
chalice of
brick.
reversal. See you later.
Yep, if it sucks, hit the bricks. Which
Here?
I wouldn't say it sucks, but I mean, I would say that this game, this is a left field analogy. I don't know where this is coming from, but this game is kind of like the Dwayne the Rock Johnson's film career of video games.
Wow. That's so insightful. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
you
the-
know, it's
you
really
can see the
puzzling that you came
appeal
up with that
immediately,
particular...
I'm so glad that a man brought it up first and not a woman brought it up first and then a man took that idea and said that it was his own. Like, that's my favorite.
I mean, that's
I feel like-
pretty much.
We are in the Black Adam era of rock movies. Like that's
Well-
where we are now.
I
We
was
are,
like,
in real life, we're just out of it.
the last session of this game that we did, I was basically disassociating. And I have really disassociated before on a boat, trust me. I was on the Pacific Ocean and I wasn't sure where I was for a minute. So I was close to doing that while we were recording this and I was like, we gotta get out of here.
Oh, good. We're back in normal Oblivion, which is to say, everything's more boring. Anyway, let's see. We were we need a Daedric artifact. No, not that. We need a Daedric artifact to give to Martin, aka Sean Bean, so that he can
What's the easiest one to get?
do something. Well,
Genre,
we finished Sheogorth's quest, and then we were like, hey, let's kill him.
Okay.
I forgot we
Let's
had a
just
horse.
Get his scepter.
Did I say fucking Sheogoroth again?
Good times.
Yes.
Here's a little reward for your effort.
Yeah.
One of my toys.
He's the kind of guy who would respect you for just consistently not pronouncing his name the correct way.
You know, you're right. Actually, that's kind of a genius power play. Next time a god asks you to do something in like an RPG, just pronounce their name wrong every time. God,
Alright,
that
so
must
next
be so
is-
fucking annoying.
Next is the Brumagate, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're gonna give, hey, we got the Wabbajack. It's a cool thing that we're never gonna use because we're about to blow it up, but, let's quick save here, and can we do it on Martin? No. Alright, let's find somebody we can do it to.
Now, there's no need to get violent.
Okay, that didn't...
Yep, it's a magical staff that makes people kill you to make you knock it the fuck off.
No, it's supposed to, like, turn people into stuff, but it's not doing that. Is there anybody else we can... Hey, you. Isn't it supposed to... Am I wrong about how this thing works? Hold on.
It is turning guards into pissed guards. This is a really exciting opportunity to
transforms
find out when the last time.
charge.
It's a really exciting
transform-
opportunity to find out when the last time Josh saved was.
It transforms
literally
any
just quick
non-PC. It transforms any non-NPC creature, so it cannot be a humanoid. It can't be
Oh.
someone who you could talk or trade
Well,
with.
that's stupid.
We'd have to
will
go find
kick
a
your
deer
fucking ass,
or.
Alright, whatever.
Okay, now I'm just picturing a thing where like you use the Wabbajack on a guard and it does nothing, but the guard looks up and he's like, "Did you just fucking try to Wabbajack me?" and just starts wailing on you.
This,
You know what? That's appropriate.
unlike the Daedra Lords, the gods have no artifacts, and do not.
So I learned something while during the hiatus that I mentioned on Twitter, but that I think is interesting,
Joffrey solved it.
which is that in Japan, tabletop role-playing games are called table talk games, as in table talk with a
This is a
K,
secret remembered only by the blades.
which like
From one grandmaster
it's clearly like it's not like the Japanese words for those things. It is just like a straightforward
I won't
transliteration
ask
of
you
that
to
those
obtain this, my
syllables
I know all too well.
into Japanese phonotactic structure. So it just seems to be like people heard tabletop and heard it as table talk. I'll be honest, it makes a lot more sense.
Consume its physical form.
Yeah.
Won't be seen again
I mean,
until
board
from
games are
anywhere.
tabletop games, usually. I mean, you put them on top of the table.
Good riddance to this tool of mischief.
I also learned
You should talk to
I
Joffrey.
may be among the first people, like as in part of the first ever English language stream of a Japanese tabletop RPG.
I've just
Neat.
received word from the Countess of Bruma.
Really?
An Oblivion gate has opened.
Yeah, I hadn't realized this, but Made,
It
the
seems
role-playing
that the
game,
Mythic Dawn
is
are putting
like the
their
first
plan to attack
Japanese RPG to
Bruma
get
in
translated
Jerusalem.
into English.
Since you've dealt
And
with these gates before,
we
I'd
streamed
like
that
to help the
game
Countess's guard close this gate.
Pretty fucking early in the history of
They
streaming,
should be able to
generally.
handle any new gates on their own.
Was this anti-paladin, or...
Yeah, it was like a mainstay of Anti-Paladin because you could generate characters very quickly and very entertainingly. And it was prominent enough relative to the size of the publication that the publisher like got a hold of us and gave us free copies.
I wish there was another way.
Oh, that's
The armor
neat.
is in the shrine of Tiber Septim.
Should we
in the capital
should we
of
explain what
Venetia of
anti-paladin
Salvatore.
was to those who weren't
Oh
around
god,
like
that's
15 years
right.
ago and
This
you were
was
doing that?
literally this was literally
No
15
one
years
has
ago.
returned from the
Almost,
shrine
at
of
least.
Tiber Septim for
Not
many
quite
life.
15.
I was like 12.
It's like 13 years ago, yeah.
I do not know.
Anti-Paladin was a charity RPG marathon that I did for a few years with a group of other people where we just streamed 24 hours a day for 5 days, desert bus style, as long as we were getting donations. And
Here, this is the key.
I would generally, I think I ended just about every year with the most GMing hours, and also insane.
You must succeed.
And I trolled the chat.
Ancient relic of the first
And
era
Mumbles trolled the
became
chat.
The divine talent.
One of my favorite anti-paladin memories is Mumbles came. Like Mumbles spent a lot of time in chat hanging out, and one day Mumbles came back, and I was wearing a sweater that I had not been wearing before. And Mumbles said, "Hey, Rutsguard, nice sweater. Did you mug a librarian?"
Been there ever since.
And I informed her that the sweater had just been finished knitting off screen by my then girlfriend, now wife. And she immediately replied, "I'm not sorry."
Classic Mumbles.
I also remember that I played you during a paranoia game while you were in the chat, like as the leader of the team, and you got really angry because I was doing it well.
Oh no.
I somehow independently came up with something that you apparently actually said all of the time. Like,
Oh no.
like somebody handed me the briefing when I was team leader, and I said, "I can't read."
Oh.
Oh, actually, we should.
Good time. I don't remember
We should
any
go
of
to a
that.
shop.
I'll be honest, I'm shocked I remember about 45 minutes worth of content.
I remember you had a
3
friend.
weeks.
You had a friend, and he always wore like a little wolf hat, and I was like, "What's up with that guy? He seems nice."
You know what? Actually, still a really good friend of mine. We were in
That's wonderful.
regular in-person games. Yeah, we just spent last weekend setting up a 3D printer.
I love that.
Chris wasn't there because he didn't exist at the time.
Yeah.
I was a ghost.
Well met.
Ah!
It's my pleasure. May I interest you in some of my fine
Alright, let's
wares?
sell some shit. What the fuck are these?
You drive a...
Oh, you know what?
I appreciate.
How do you
For you?
feel about
Of
us?
course.
How do you feel about us?
No more. You're frightening me. That's pretty good.
I regret that I probably won't have an occasion in my life to say, "No more, you're frightening me," in that kind of harsh, just awkward delivery to somebody.
Whatever you want.
Sometimes my husband does like a Waluigi dance, and I'm like, "No more, you're frightening me."
A pleasure.
That's a good
Only
usage.
good.
Wait, what's the Waluigi dance?
Exactly.
Can't afford.
Okay, but for real, it's
You
like,
got-
have you ever like played Mario Party?
I have, and always as Waluigi.
Okay, well then you know.
But usually
when he
too drunk to
wins,
remember.
He does like. A
Well, there's your
little
problem,
spin.
Mumbles!
No more, you're scared.
So what does it look like when Waluigi wins in Mario Party? Because again, this is not something I have context for.
He does like a little spin, and then he like puts a rose between his teeth.
Oh,
Seems a fair.
that sounds cool. I should let someone else be
It's actually
Waluigi
cool.
sometime so I can see it.
And you have to be sober.
You got a great deal there. Come. Not smart to carry. Farewell.